Hi everyone, my name is Laura. If you are new here, welcome to my channel and I strongly suggest you subscribe. I am talking all things thriving in life. And so today I just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit about self-confidence. I want to talk about it and what it really is. I do believe that a lot of people are under the assumption that some people are just born confident. And I just want to say that is not the case. It's just like communicating. It's something that we learn. There may be some of us that learn it a bit sooner in life, but ultimately, none of us are born with it, and we all have the opportunity to practice it. So if self-confidence is something that you are currently working on or want to work on, then this is a video for you. And make sure that you stay tuned until the end because I'm going to share 3 ways you can get started practicing being more self-confident today. So I took some notes because I didn't want to forget anything, and sometimes I do feel like I ramble a little bit. So here we go. I am of the belief that confidence has a lot to do with self-respect and self-love. I do believe in a lot of ways self-love and self-respect are intertwined because when we love ourselves, we respect ourselves enough to ensure that we are doing things that are an investment in ourselves, surrounding ourselves with people that want to uplift us and we want to uplift them, as well as saying no to the things that aren't for us or for our highest good. And so it is so important to begin to tap in to our own self-awareness surrounding self-love, the way we talk to ourselves in our mind, the thoughts that we have, so that we can begin to cultivate a self-love practice or a mindfulness practice or a new inner dialogue that is in support of us becoming our best, most confident, loved selves. It is such a cool thing when you begin to become aware of how you feel about yourself. When you love yourself, you tend to be in love with life as well. Or vice versa. When you're in love with life, you tend to love on yourself well. And so the way you feel about the outer world can give you a bit of a glimpse of how it is that you feel about yourself. And so if you are excited about the sunsets and hopeful for the future and consistently asking friends what it is that they're up to next or what they're curious about or what they're excited about, it is very likely that you also have cultivated some self-confidence as well as a really great self-love practice, whether you know it or not. If you tend to see things in a negative light, like I don't know, maybe you're even just noticing all of the things that you don't like in the world, or you're irritated by all of the people around you, or you're just driving and everybody's annoying you. This may be an indication that you would benefit from investing in a self-confidence or a self-love practice. I just wanted to give those examples because not everyone is completely self-aware. I know for a very long time I was not self-aware. I was very aware of others, but at that time didn't have a really confident, clear grasp of my own awareness. And so we can begin to cultivate some self-awareness by really paying attention to how we perceive things. So this, I'm gonna kind of snowball on that. So when we have experiences with other people, those experiences generally are a reflection of how other people feel about themselves. So when you're confident in yourself, you don't need to convince anyone else of your opinions or what you think is right, because you have this confidence and self-respect enough so that you know that it's not your job to convince or convert anyone to what it is that you believe or what it is that you see. Self-confidence is also setting boundaries. I have found that a big part of my self-love practice is saying no to things that aren't in alignment with me, because for a lot of my life, I said yes to other people, but often me saying yes to other people was me saying no to me. So one example of this is when someone says, hey, what are you doing Thursday? And they ask you because they want to see if you're not doing anything, if you could do something for them. I would generally, if I was free, I would do whatever it was that they asked. Now, it's when someone asks you, are you free on Thursday? I'll be like, why? What's up? Tell me what's on your mind. Because just because I do not have something scheduled doesn't mean I'm available. Especially as I've begun to cultivate my own self-confidence practice along with my self-love practice, I realize, even though I'm quite social, that I'm very introverted and I recharge on my own. It creates an opportunity for me to go within, journal, gain clarity about what it is that I would love to do next, or even reflect and really practice that self-awareness practice. Okay. Self-confidence is not needing to have all of the answers. It's also not needing to be right, because when you're self-confident, there's a knowing that in many situations, there isn't really a right or a wrong way. There may be a way that is in alignment with you and maybe not in alignment with you. This doesn't negate the fact that there are things that are inherently or morally right or wrong. However, there are many, many, many situations where there's a spectrum, as well as there are different things that are right for one person and different things that are right for another. And when you've really begun to practice your self-confidence, your self-love, your self-respect, you get to a place of knowing that it's not your job to convince anyone of what it is that you think that you know or what you've learned. Instead, it's okay to hold space for people who have different opinions than you. It's wonderful that we don't all think the same. And so when you are confident, you don't need someone to affirm you are right in order to maintain that confidence, because it's just not a part of what makes you worthy. Self-confidence is also being able to get curious about maybe when you're wrong or when there's more to be learned. Self-confidence is often a knowing that we don't know it all. It's also often a knowing that just because we feel one way today or have a certain opinion today doesn't mean that it won't change, because we are constantly growing and changing and learning. And when you really have a great self-confidence practice, you know that who you are today is not who you will be a year from now or 5 years from now. Okay, but like I said, self-confidence, like anything else, is a practice, and it can be super simple, like super simple and really fun. So here are 3 different ways that you can begin to practice self-confidence and become more confident than you were yesterday. So the first one is just stand tall. Pay attention to your posture. Shoulders back. Imagine there's a string at the top of your head. Stand up tall. Another really cool thing that you can do is, they call them power stances. There's a psychologist, her name is Amy Letty, and she speaks about, these power poses. So just taking your arms wide, opening up through your heart. This is going to be a part of your self-confidence practice. The research shows that when we do this, there's an actual physiological change in our body, and it lowers stress hormones, increases testosterone, which encourages confidence. And so having your arms wide, or even putting your arms on your hips, shoulders back, are all different ways that we can, with our posture, begin to practice self-confidence. So I like to also think of it as allowing yourself to take up space. When we open up our arms and we stop trying to shrink ourselves and hide, we become more confident naturally. So this is something that you can start today. You can do it right now with me, even taking your arms wide. I'm right now on my bed, nice and cozy, but even standing up, reaching your hands tall. This is a means to practice self-confidence. 2, talk to yourself in a way that you would talk to someone that you love. In particularly, maybe even someone young that you love. I think a lot of us at times are unaware of the dialogue that we have in the back of our head and how we talk to ourselves. So if you can first become aware that you do have an inner dialogue, and then begin to implement statements that are positive and encouraging, as well as give you grace and send you love and empathy at times, this will transform you. So I did write down just a simple affirmation that you can use. If you don't want this one, you can come up with one on your own. But the affirmation that I wrote down here was, each day I get better and better at everything that I practice. When I feel fun and light and inspired, I am being reminded to do more of that. So just that simple statement that each day I get better and better, or I'll even say like each day gets better and better. And that's exciting for me, but I wanted to change it for self. Even practice saying like, I love you, you're lovable, I love you, you're lovable, you're worthy of love. Something that simple can boost your self-confidence, because sometimes it's just something that we've overlooked. And if there's ever been a period of time where we felt unworthy of love, or we didn't really love ourselves, there likely is an inner dialogue that's reinforcing that. So if we can really become clear of what we would love, so if self-confidence is something that you're working on, begin to tell yourself you love yourself. You can even look into the mirror and be like, I love you. It's okay that you're not perfect. It's okay that you make mistakes. I love you anyways. There's so many great things about you. Another really cool practice, so I gave you a really simple one that you can start today, but another cool practice is writing down 10 things that are really amazing about yourself. So say, for example, maybe you're a really generous person. Say, I'm really generous with my time or my money or my skill set. Maybe you're really good at cooking. Like, I make the best chocolate chip cookies. Like, write these things down. And this will begin to become an investment in you, as well as cultivate your self-confidence. It's a way to practice being more confident. Another thing that I have recommended to people in the past. So sorry, this is still number 2 in terms of paying attention to how we talk to ourselves and maybe talk to ourselves the way we would a loved one. If you find this challenging, ask 3 people you love to write you letters about why they love you or what they love about you, and then read those 3 letters regularly. This creates an opportunity to really get clear on how lovable you are. And, maybe you don't want to do that. You can even write a letter to your younger self, maybe like 5-year-old you or 10-year-old you, talking about how incredible you are at whatever it is that you loved at the time or currently. And this is a really great means to cultivate self-love, which will in turn increase your self-confidence. So the third thing, this one's really, really important. Pay attention to how things feel. Energy is everything. You are being guided always. So if you feel exhausted and tired all of the time, it's likely not that you're tired and exhausted. It's that you're likely not doing the things that energize you. You're doing the things that drain you, the things that maybe you shouldn't be doing anymore. And so with a knowing that energetically you are being guided all the time, pay attention to certain situations and how they make you feel, as well as pay attention to how you feel around certain people. And as you're cultivating your self-confidence practice as well as your self-love practice, it's important to have boundaries. And so if you hang out with someone and you feel energized, hang out with them more. If you hang out with someone, or it might even be like work colleagues or whatever, and it is draining and you're exhausted, limit contact. This can even be with people that you love. There might be people that you love that energetically you feel drained around, and it is okay to lovingly spend less time with them. Because remember, saying no to others is often saying yes to yourself. And as you continue to cultivate your own self-confidence and self-love practice, you will be an example to others. And this will often inspire others. Although it is not your job, but the happier we are, generally the happier the people around us are. And those people that maybe drained you or you find challenging to be around may eventually be like, hey, you seem different. What are you doing that's different? And you're obviously not going to be like, not hanging around you. But you can say you're really paying attention to yourself and you are investing in yourself and you are doing things that light you up, and maybe even share some of those things. So it is powerful when we really get clear about how we feel energetically in certain situations, as well as take note of the people that are celebrating your wins, and take note of maybe the people that are sitting from a place of jealousy or fear, because you want the people who want you to win in your life. Because if you are a confident person, you want everybody to win too. Feeling like you're in competition with someone else comes from a place of ego and fear. And so I like to say to lots of people these days is that there is no competition. No matter what, maybe you're an entrepreneur and there's someone else doing the exact same thing. There is enough for all of us. And There's no need to feel any kind of way about someone else succeeding. Instead, see it as proof of what's possible. And so I invite each and every one of you to begin to cultivate some self-confidence practices and really truly begin to watch your whole world transform. So that's it for today. I'll maybe go over those 3 things that you can start today to cultivate a really great self-confidence practice. 1, stand tall. Those power poses, so amazing. 2, talk to yourself like you're someone that you love. And 3, pay attention to energy. If something lights you up, makes you feel inspired and energizes you, do more of that. If there's people in your life that make you feel inspired and excited, hang out more with them, and then do less of any of the things that make you feel heavy and tired. Okay, well, that is it. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and feel free to share any self-confidence tips that you have as a part of your practice. And yeah, if I think of any that I think are really important, then I will share those in the comments as well. Bye, guys.